Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, welcome to Oilers After Dark. My name is Matt. Today we are on episode 86. It is the February review. To start off, it was an injury-riddled month for a few of the Oilers. It was an up and down month. There's the team as a whole. Again, like I always say, it's about process. We throw two of the best games and two of the worst games out. Boy, there were some bad ones and there were some good ones. So, of course, we're going to start out with predictions that I had last month. I said the Oilers were going to go 9-2. Wow, nah, that didn't happen. BW said they were going to go 7-4. He was closer. I don't throw in the overtime losses. I don't do the whole yeah, win dash loss in overtime. I think the NHL needs to abolish the entire freaking overtime system point, loser point, as I call it, because it is. You lost. You got a point for losing. Good job. A round of applause. A round of applause. We also picked three players to watch. I had Kane, Desharnais, and Hopkins. BW had Kane, Desharnais, and Holloway. We'll get into that right now. Obviously, the Oilers' actual record was 4-7 or 4-3-4. If you really want to get technical with the overtime losses bullshit, and there was a lot of them back to back to back to back, and we'll get into that as we do with the game by game preview. But we'll get into the players of the month. Kane, 6 games played, injured, 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. Not too bad for 6 games played. When he's healthy, he's good. He has been healthy for most of the year. Hopefully that bucks the trend and he's healthy in the playoffs and for the playoff push, which just got better. We traded some players away yesterday. I don't know how the locker room feels about it. I know what we traded 2 locker room guys in Pugliarvi and Barry, but the return is better than what we had. We're better today than we were yesterday. I don't know when Ekholm is going to be in the lineup, but please go check that trade video out. It's a doozy. Yeah, I don't know when he's going to be in the lineup. He could be in the lineup tonight. He could be in the lineup on Friday against Winnipeg. Don't know. We might find out during the stream tonight. Anyways, moving on. Desharnais was the guy number 2. Both of us was consensus on that. He had 8 games played, 0 goals, 1 assist, but he did his job. +4. He's not here to get points, guys. Desharnais is not here to get points. He's here to be a shite disturber. He's here to hit people, and he's here to intimidate. And boy, golly, did he do that this month in spades. Move on to Hopkins. 11 games played. He played all 11, which is good. Healthy. He's been healthy all year. Fingers crossed it stays that way. 6 goals, 6 assists, 14 points, career high points. You know what he did. He's just Mr. Consistent this year. Him, Draisaitl, McDavid, and Hyman. Mr. Consistencies. Those are your 4 guys. And then we got Holloway. Now, Holloway is now hurt long term. He was sent down to the AHL halfway through the month. He had 5 games played out of the 11, 0 goals, 0 assists, and was a 0 plus minus. He didn't impact the Oilers. Maybe because they put them in a spot where he wouldn't succeed because they were trying to push for Pugliarvi. I don't know. Maybe him being sent down was a bad thing because he did get sent down and did get hurt, playing more minutes. Maybe we do the butterfly effect thing that I always say I don't believe in karma. I don't believe in that crap, but butterfly effect is real. What gets missed during games affects the outcome. What happens with 2 minutes left in a period affects the outcome in the next period. It's butterfly effect. It's cause and effect, butterfly effect, right? So Holloway got hurt in the AHL. Hopefully he comes back, and hopefully he's back for the Oilers' playoff push. And now that we don't have Pugliarvi, we can probably call him up and have him put into a better role. Top, at least play minutes in the top 6. Now we're gonna go into the game by game breakdown. It's not pretty, folks. Not pretty at all if you're an Oiler fan. The month started out great in Detroit. February 7th coming off the All-Star break. We were rested, we were healthy, everybody was ready to go. Sluggish start to the game, though. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't that pretty. Campbell got the net, got the win. As you see here, it was a 6-2 schlopping for the Oilers over Detroit. 6-2. You really can't beat 6-2, right? Coming out of the All-Star break. Depth scoring was in waves. Our top guys didn't need to score much. McDavid continued his point streak. It was at 13. Depth scoring was key during that victory. We moved on to Philadelphia 2 nights later. And this is where the fun happens. It's we got a 2-1 loss. Skinner took the net. This game was not on Skinner. This was the Oilers' inability to play actual hockey. So yes, like I was gonna say, I gotta say, this is where the fucking loser points come in. We were getting ones, teams around us were getting twos. We could have shot up to first, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Instead, we stayed second, third, irrelevant now, wild card as of right now. The Oilers are in the first wild card, tied with Seattle, but because of games played and all that jazz, Seattle is in third. We're in the wild card. Like I said, we go into Philadelphia. Skinner got the net. Obviously, give him time. He's already had that much time off. McDavid continued his torrent pace. Point streak to 14 games, 22 points in those 14 games. 94 points on the year. Like, he's become Mr. Unstoppable. And it gets better as the month goes on for McDavid. Just wish McDavid and the Oilers got better. Unfortunately, was not the case. 2 nights later, we're in Ottawa. All right, game one of a back-to-back. We go Ottawa, Montreal back-to-back on a matinee weekend. It's not fun. First game was fun for us as the Oilers walked away with a 6-3 victory, as well as Oilers showed why they can be cup contenders. They beat up on Ottawa. There were some fights. Kane beat up Kachuk. 30 wins on the season for the Oils. Campbell got the net, got the nod, got the win. Yes, he let in 3 again. And that's all people are talking about. Well, he's letting in a lot of goals again. He is, but it's the product of the defense in front of him. And both goalies are letting in a lot of goals. And it's the product of the shite defense in front of them, like all 5-man defense. And I'll get into that later. Next night, anyways, we move on to Montreal. Crazy game that was. Another sour taste in our mouths because they lose 6-2. It wasn't competitive. It was Super Bowl Sunday, and you can tell this team just didn't give 2 fucks. And it's rough to watch. When this team is on, this team is on. But when this team is off, holy fuck, goddamn, this team is not on at all, and it's a train wreck. And day 2 of the back-to-back was an absolute train wreck for the Oilers. But we keep plugging along, as we say. 3-0 early lead for Montreal. It ended up being a 4-1 lead after, I think it was halfway through the game. Neon Leon gets his 30th goal of the year. Vinny Desharnais wins a fight against Wi-Fi. I don't know how to say his last name. It's the dude with the X's, the J's, the O's, the R's. He broke his wrist in that. Wi-Fi broke his wrist. Don't punch glass. First regulation loss for the Oilers in 12 games. So it was the first time they lost in regulation in 12. That's always good to talk about. Wins in regulation and losses in overtime. So you're getting that loser point, but a loss is a loss. McDavid's point streak ends. Unfortunately, it was just not his night. He stays at he stays. Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back to the Ottawa game. I missed some notes on the Ottawa game. McDavid continued his point streak for the Ottawa game. 3-point night, now has 97 on the year, 3 away from a hundo. Hyman got his 300th career point. King got no fight with the Chuck, as I said. And now we can move back to Montreal. Yeah, sorry guys. It's 7:30 in the morning. Also, we moved on, came back home. We're done with the road trip. We're back home for 2. Detroit, rematch from the beginning of the month. I don't tell you, skills competitions are a joke. It was a big night for the Oilers. It was Ben Stetler night. 5-4 loss in OT, so a 5-4 lot. Outshot Detroit 45-23. Apparently, the goalie was a Vezina goalie that game. McDavid got another point. Now has 98 points on the year. Nothing else really to talk about. Like, just nothing. It was a back and forth affair. It was just a nothingness game that this team again inabilities inabilities to win a shootout. It's kind of disheartening, honestly. So 2 nights later, the Rangers are in town. Oilers are up, and up big early. No excuses. They blew the fucking lead. They blew it. Can't tell you any more than that. They blew it. Get another loser point though. It's becoming worrisome. This team can't win in overtime. They were up 3-0 at one point and 4-1 after one. McDavid gets a point 100 and 101. So McDavid's continuing again getting points. Wish the team around him would be reciprocating how good this guy is. Like, we have 4 really good players on our team. 5 when Kane is healthy. And everybody else is just along for the fucking ride. Defense is not included in that because defense, for me, should be playing defense, not putting up points. Thus, the trade that happened for Barry. Yeah, you're putting up points, my guy, but you weren't. You were there defensively, but you've fallen off a little bit, in my opinion. But we move on to February 19th against Colorado, an important game. Like, a measuring stick game, as some hockey pundits like to say. This is a measuring stick game. This will see what good your team is. We get the 6-5 loss in overtime. Another overtime loss, another lead blown. Depth scoring was sequential in this game. Like, we had nothing but depth scoring aside from McDavid, to be honest with you. McDavid gets .799 on his career. 102 on the season. Again, McDavid doing McDavid things. But this is where my frustration during the stream is. When we play Colorado, we get the most atrocious bounces and atrocious reffing. Like, I really want to play Colorado on an even playing field in the playoffs where biases and shite reffing is thrown out. Yes, you got to play better defensively. You can't give the refs something to call because they will call it. And I will get into that more when I talk about the Boston game. The Boston game. Foreshadowing the Boston game. Yes. Well, we were in Colorado that night. We travel home for one. We get one game against Philadelphia at home, and then we're back on the road for 2, and then at home for 1 to end the month. So we're at home against Philly. Okay, we kind of owe them one. They got that overtime win. Oilers win 4-2. Keep that good time rolling, right? Finally back in the win column. McDavid, Draisaitl, Hopkins share a special goal. They all had milestone points. .800 for McDavid, .700 for Draisaitl, and career high for Hopkins. 1 goal, 3 milestones, 2 milestones, and a career high. It was good to see. Then Skinner was in the net, got the win. Like, I'm not mentioning who was in the net for the losses because it's not important. Both goalies didn't play great this month. Both goalies didn't play bad. It's just the way the defensive structure in front of them was. Time to time, it was bad. But Philadelphia played Philadelphia hockey and got beat. We moved on to Pittsburgh on the 23rd. 2 days later, we get the 7-2 victory. And it was a thumping. Like, I'm not going to go through every goal or every particular situation. But, yeah, it was It was a thumping. Hopkins got a goal. Got career high that game, like 600 points now for Hopkins. Yeah, Hopkins 600, McDavid 800, Draisaitl 700. This team has milestone players. They have great players on this team. Just no defense to help them out. Then we move on to probably the worst game of the month. Pittsburgh was the best. Columbus loss was the worst. So Columbus, Montreal, throw those out for worst. The first Detroit game and the Pittsburgh game, throw those out as the best. You'll see the rest. 6-5 loss. 10:30 in the fucking morning sucks, guys. 10:30 in the morning, not very fun. Oilers down 4-0 halfway through the game. It wasn't pretty. The chat wasn't pretty. A lot of negativity. And I apologize to people for my negativity on my part. It was not a fun game to watch. Oilers score 4 straight, tie the game up, but then explode, implode, blow up, shit the bed, can't play defense, lose 6-5. Campbell started, didn't finish. Skinner wasn't saved by the defense. It was atrocious. And if that game didn't tell you that things need to be changed, the next game did. On to Boston. Skinner got the start, rightfully so. Campbell played like shit against a weaker opponent, but we know how the Oilers are when they play weaker opponents. Speaking of weaker opponents with Korpisalo, Vezina Salo is now with the LA Kings, and we play them 2 or 3 times in the next month. So the goalie that's beat us twice with Columbus is now on a better team. Let's hope the Oilers can figure this guy out. Because LA might be that first round matchup that we get. Figure him out, boys. At the very least, keep pucks out of our net when we play against teams like that. But we move on to Boston. Classic game. I'm going to say probably best game of the year played because of the just how great it was. It was a playoff atmosphere game until it wasn't. First period, 0 penalties, back and forth, looked good. Both teams capitalized. McDavid gets another goal, starts us off. All right, all right, all right, all right. And unfortunately, 18, 20 seconds later, Nosek scores to tie the game up. Bad bounce, bad defensive play, bad. But hey, that's hockey. You can get the breaks, right? Oilers continue to find ways to lose because they lose 3-2 in this one. I I don't know what more I can say about this game. It was a good game till it wasn't. Second period was atrocious for the refs on both sides. Ticky-tacky, 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 ticky-tacky. It was power play Oilers, power play Boston, and then power play. It was a 5-on-4, 4-on-4, 4-on-3, 5-on-4, 4-on-4, 4-on-4. All in all, Boston had 5 power plays in the night. The Oilers had 1. Oilers went 0 for 1 on the power play. Boston went 0 for 5. I guess that's silver linings. They didn't get a power play goal. But the Oilers did score a shorthanded one, which was huge. Welcome back, Costin. My God, have you been missed? He got an assist on McDavid's shorthanded goal, hustling to beat out the puck, makes the goalie stay in the net. Beautiful pass, beautiful play. McDavid had 2 goals in this game. Is there anything this guy cannot do? Well, I guess he can't play defense because on the Foligno goal, missed assignment, should have stayed with Foligno, did not. Foligno gets the backdoor tap in, tied the game up at 2. Like, I don't know. Unfortunately, there was a mistake made in the late in the second period. Goalie poked the puck. At the same time, player was swiping. Player got really lucky to hit the puck as it was pushed out to his stick. Ended up a goal, ended up being the game winner. Cannot give Boston leads going into the third period, regardless of the circumstances that surrounded the final 5 minutes. Costin got lucky. He wasn't suspended. He was charged with a 5-minute major that wasn't a 5-minute major. During the live stream, like I said, as it was happening live, I was like, damn, that was dangerous. You can't go head hunting like that. Like, you can't hit to the head. It's just, there's no excuses to ever target someone's head. And it looked bad. It looked like he may have targeted his head with his elbow. But upon further review, he didn't even touch the player. The player got hit with his own stick. Sucks for Krejci. Hopefully he's okay. Obviously, he finished out the game. Then we move on. Butterfly effect happened. Costin took a 4-minute major. Double minor for high-sticking Bergeron. Looked like Bergeron was fighting to keep his eyes open, blinking a lot. My opinion still is he should have been concussion protocol. We care about our players, right? So why was he not in concussion protocol? But he was able to finish the game, came out for the power play. 4 minutes power play with 5 and something change left. And then melee happened. Desharnais was a wild man, blocking 4 shots in a row. Limbs, hands, arms, legs, you name it, he blocked it. Took a 2-minute penalty for slashing. Was it a penalty? Yes. Was it dangerous? Sure. Did he really make contact? No, but you still can't two-hand swing at someone's back. Let's not be Neanderthals out there. 5-on-3 pretty much to end the game. Oilers had the best chances, but again, Boston had the lead, so they really didn't need to push the pace. Oilers needed to find a way to score a game shorthanded. So again, finding new ways to lose is what the Oilers did this month. Finishing the month with a losing record. Injuries really, every team has them, I guess. It's just, but I don't cover every team, so like I said, injuries, man. Like, we can't be having multiple injuries because Costin was sick for the majority of the month. Kane was sick for the majority of the month. Hurt, sorry, not sick, hurt. Again, you need to be healthy to win or find ways to win with injured players, and this lineup can't do it when you're missing 2 forwards. But again, we move on to March. Starts off tonight against Toronto. I will do a March month preview later on in the day. That way you don't have too many videos back to back stockpiled. Tell me your thoughts. What did you think of the February month? Do you think I am right to say that injuries are a big impact of how the month went? Or do the Oilers just need to be better defensively? I think it's a combination of both. Injuries, yes, but you can't just say injuries. Refs, yes, but you can't just say refs because most games aren't dictated that way. Oilers need to learn how to figure out how to hold leads, how to win games, 1-goal games, how to win in overtime, how to win a shootout. Also, mixed in with those Oiler wins was a Zachary Hyman penalty shot and a McDavid penalty shot. McDavid does know how to score on penalty shots. So, yeah, it's going to be a fun month of March. It's going to be a rough month of March. I'm probably going to put the team at 500 in March. 500 or barely above. I'm not going to go overly predicting wins. And hey, if they do better than what I say, I'm excited about that. Low expectations. Never get disappointed that way, right? Anyways, guys, my name is Matt for Oilers After Dark. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. Oh, tell all your friends. This guy needs some coffee. Back at it tonight, 5 o'clock. Oilers taking on the Maple Leafs in Edmonton. The first game of what is going to be a 2-week mini series. We got Winnipeg back to back, and then we got Ottawa and Boston, and then we got Toronto. As always, peace.